Hi, I'm Tom. This is AC on the Short Alpha Clash podcast, where I talk all things Alpha Clash on my way to work. And boy, do we have something to talk about today. So let's dig into that. Now, I mentioned this last time and the day before that and so on, that I am celebrating the 1 year anniversary of this podcast. Now, the YouTube channel and the Instagram account has been around for a bit longer, but this is the 53rd episode, if I sort of calculate correctly or counted correctly. So that marks the first in the next season, or depending on how you measure it. But it's now a year and 2 days since the first episode. So this is the closest we're going to get to a 1 year anniversary. Now, I mentioned last time that I want to do a giveaway, and if you hang on for a bit, I'll tell you what it is and how to get it. So let's dig in. So last episode, I talked about the flavor text, or the missing flavor text from Alpha Clash. Now, I still believe that is true. It is still true. There is not a flavor text in the traditional sense. But as someone pointed out to me, the cards in other card games don't relate. The names of the cards. Magic is a grey area, and I'll get back to that. But the cards in other card games do not relate specific parts of the story, or they rarely do. In contrast, Alpha Clash almost always has some relation to the story. If it's not to underline the character with the character name or difference in character names, they especially actions and Clashgrounds. Let's start with Clashgrounds. Clashgrounds are always places where there actually have been, or we expect there to be, some sort of action, some part of the story going on there. And all the actions in Clash buffs and stuff is, maybe not all, but most, is reflections on the story behind the cards. So I think my favorite example here would be Gotcha, where it's a direct link to the story where Magnet gets a hold of Moxie in a fight. By the way, the UN headquarters, if I remember correctly, which is a Clash ground, and the story goes on and on. So, when I said that there isn't a flavor text, it's because it's actually in the title. I don't know if it's because it's actually in the title, but there is I'll grant them a concession there that much of what we would expect there to be in terms of flavor text is actually hidden in the titles of the cards. That said, I still would like to see flavor text. Sort of have done that in a few in these comic book style cards. More of that, don't we? So in that spirit, and now we're going to get to the giveaway. I made a couple of suggestions. I posted them on the Instagram. On the Instagram account, I made a few suggestions of what could be. Now, having that is a lot harder. Doing that is a lot harder than I thought it would be, because making good flavor texts are not as easy as I thought it would be. So, but I made a few suggestions. And I wrote them up with a white marker on the cards, a way I think could be fun. So, as part of the giveaway of celebrating the 1 year anniversary, I'm going to give a few of those away. But nobody wants a card somebody else has written on just because they think it's funny. So, in addition to that, I'm going to throw in a couple of other things. One thing is, I'm going to throw in a comic book, the first issue of the comic book, Talk Therapy. You might have one of those already, and maybe you don't. If you do, and you should win, then just give it away to someone who does not have it as a sort of free gift for that. Also, I made a special pack of token cards for ClashCon last year, and at ClashCon, I gave these away to people I met and people I talked with and played with. I have a few packs left, so I'm going to throw in a pack of those. The only other way you could get that is by being at ClashCon, or have bought something from House of Cards just shortly after that, because those I brought with me and didn't get to give away, I gave to Tara from House of Cards. So that's a limited edition thing there, very much a limited edition thing. So I have a couple left, and I'm going to give away 2 of them. So that was what I hinted at yesterday. Now I'm going to take a picture of all of this, what I'm giving, I've talked about, and what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to put a picture on Instagram with that, and if you want to win it, maybe you don't, but if you want to win it, go push like on that. I'll leave a link if I can figure out how in the description of this podcast. Go push like and tell me what card you think should have a flavor text, apart from the title, of course. So push like, take a look at your cards and think which one of these should have a flavor text but does not. Okay, now I'm going to sweeten the pot a little bit extra, because as I was looking at that, I found out they have 2 blister packs from Clashgrounds. Was the last set doing blister packs, and I might as well throw one of those in. So a token pack special edition, a flavor text, handwritten flavor text card, a comic book, and a blister pack for your collection from Clashgrounds. Unrivaled Clashgrounds, the one with Wood War, so that would be Clashgrounds. So yeah, that is the giveaway, and I will send it anywhere in the world. So go find the link, give it a like, and tell me what card there should have had a flavor text on it. So all that aside, let's talk about all the news I just mentioned there were. So we have to talk about Clashgrounds Las Vegas, but maybe in a bit broader context than just that. But before we do, I don't know if you know, but there's a Kickstarter going on. I know we sort of forgot about Cosmic Conquest in the middle of the Clashgrounds and the release of Equilibrium in just a week or something, something like that, a week and a half. I think it's 10 or 11 days. I miss it right now. 28th, so 11 days-ish, depending on when you're listening to this. So, yeah, besides all of that, we also have a Kickstarter going for the Cosmic Conquest board game. Now, the Kickstarter has been funded. We will get our games. But I just had to go have a look to see where we're at. And when I looked last, we have 52,000 US. Still a couple of days to go, quite a lot of days to go. And I would really, really love for it to reach 80,000. The reason for that is because I'm a board game geek and I want nice pieces in my board game. And when we hit 80,000, we get the upgrade in tokens for both experience points and for the planets, and I sort of want that. So could we go push it just a little bit further? I'll leave a link to it in the description below, so we can go. I have to go there and put a few extra copies of Talk, of the comic books in there, because I'm giving away a couple of them. Anyway, the other thing that we need to talk about is Clashgrounds Las Vegas. Now, Clashgrounds Las Vegas was this weekend, and just 2 weeks ago we had in Pasay in the Philippines. Las Vegas, obviously, being in the US. So it was a smaller event in the US than in Pasay. But what was really, really interesting about Pasay, and that reflected in Clashgrounds Las Vegas, was that the meta just blew up. Now, at Pasay, at the top 8 level, there were, I think, 5 different contenders. Now, there were those we expect to see in the Philippines. There were Talk and there were Genesis. But there were also loads of others, 3 others. And the Warcry build actually made it to the final. It lost, as far as I remember, to a Genesis player, but it made it all the way to the final. Now, that tells me that it is a viable deck. The competition was about 50 plus decks, so making a Warcry deck walk all the way to the final, that is an amazing feat. It wouldn't be doable if it was not a good, well-functioning and strong deck. So, having seen that, sort of made a hint at the meta was moving along and was starting to get diverse there. Now, 2 weeks later, today, there's the Clashground in Las Vegas, and what we saw there was 6 different contenders in the top 8. Now, one of the things that has happened from last year and to these events is the bounty cards. Now, the bounty cards, if you don't know, is these special edition cards representing, I think, 5 or 6 of the contenders that we haven't really seen in sort of the high tier meta. But this special edition card, you can, if you could make a deck with this, bring it to a Clash Ground, you gain one of you simply win one of these cards if you were the highest placed with that contender. Now, in Pasay, I don't think anyone made top 8 with any of the decks with these contenders, these 5-6 contenders. But in Las Vegas, I think every single one of them was in the top 8. So I'm really happy to see that, because that tells me that the meta is diverse, so the game is well balanced. You can, in fact, choose to build functioning and well-rounded strategies with different contenders. It doesn't have to be the top 2 or 3 contenders. There is a viable setup, and it even, to go a bit further with that, the contenders that ended up in top 8 in the 2 were not the same. Now, as I said, the bounty cards was given to the top 8 players in Las Vegas, but not in Pasay. So that line tells you that there were differences in that. So yes, Genesis was there. Yes, Talk were in Pasay, but Moxie, Ready to Hunt, Mean Streak boosted, Warcry was there. Lynn for some reason, Haven made it to the final in Hamilton's hands. So amazing to see that meta is really functioning. Now, I think, yes, there's a balance to the game where you can have your own choice of contenders and you can make them work. But also, this proves a level of maturity for the game. At least in my eyes, it proves a level of maturity to the game. We have now had enough cards in the card pool to make more than one strategy viable. I think that's a really important move for the game, to be able to have this diversity in him, or have this width in the choice of strategies. I think that is really, really important for them moving forward. And now we even get one more set in Equilibrium before we move on to the next block, the Cosmic block, which I'm very excited about, to see how that comes about, how and what we're going to get there. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Equilibrium is out in, what they'll say, 11 days, something like that. In a short while, Equilibrium, the last set in the first block, is going to come out, and it's going to be a lot of really interesting cards in there, and a few new contenders. So pretty excited about that. And hopefully, I'll get my hands on one of these Equilibrium local game store exclusive comic books. That would be absolutely amazing. So let's see how that works out. Anyway, remember the giveaway. Go in and have a look at it, and go play. Go build with your favorite contender, because they all seem viable by now. If there's a contender you haven't won with in your local game group, go build something for that, and go show them that any contender is viable in this game. Anyway, that's it for me. Don't forget, as I mentioned, to go find the link to the Instagram and the Kickstarter and all the rest of it. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.